tracking the storm. We're now under a lake effect snow warning, and Storm Team 2 is across western New York to let you know what to expect.
Well, we got lake effect snow coming. The question is how thick these weather bands are going to be. I'm going to use Future Look to show you who's going to get the most snow and when.
Plus, looking ahead, we've checked in with local leaders to see how they plan to keep the roads clear.
We anticipate having 40 plows on the roads at any one time.
And a difficult decision. You'll hear how some school superintendents will make the call to close or stay open. Team coverage and all the day's news right now on Channel 2 News First at 5. Yeah, officials across the area, they are keeping a very watchful eye on the forecast as the first big lake effect snowstorm of the year is now set to arrive. And as you can see from our Hyacam right there, very clearly, it is pretty clear in the city, a little bit of light snowfall, but the snow has been falling and it continues to fall right now in parts of the South Towns. And good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Levin.
And I'm Kelly Dudzik. A lake effect snow warning goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight and runs through Wednesday afternoon. And a lake effect snow watch lasts until Thursday. That's a long time for the snow to be falling. And that's why we have you covered on all aspects of the first big storm. We'll begin with just how much to expect and when. Kevin O'Connell is tracking it all for you in the Storm Team 2 Weather Center tonight. Hi, Kev.
Kelly and Scott, good evening, and good evening, everyone. I want to start right at the top by saying that this snow event that's going to last the next 2 days is not going to affect the city of Buffalo as much as south of the city of Buffalo, okay? So we're not going to be talking about piles of snow. We're going to get some, but not certainly as much as the southern tier. Now let's start talking about the alerts and advisories. We have a lake effect warning. This is going to be going into effect tonight, and it's going to last until Wednesday afternoon. The areas affected: Erie, Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, Wyoming, and also Genesee County. The areas not affected by this warning doesn't mean you're not going to get snow, but I am talking about Niagara, Orleans, and Allegheny counties. Now, live precision Doppler radar right now, by the way, it's available for you at WGRZ.com if you want to check it out. But you can see the problem we're having this afternoon is the temperatures have been so doggone close to 32 degrees. They're running maybe 34. Every once in a while, it'll drop down to 31. So then Doppler is indicating we not only having some rain moving in, we are also having it mixed with some snow, which could certainly cause some slick conditions. Everything right now is fairly light, but take a look at Future Look, because this is a great determining factor of what's going to happen when. Here we are, 5 o'clock on Monday. Look what happens by 11 o'clock tonight, especially right there along the Lake Erie shoreline. So what I'm telling you is that probably around 7 to 8 o'clock tonight, this band is going to start setting up around Silver Creek, and then it is going to start intensifying. It's going to stay in place and very, very slowly start to move a little bit to the north during the overnight and tomorrow. And of course, I'm going to have more as far as areas, how much you can expect, when you can get it on our Future Look coming up in our full weathercast at 5:18. We're on the roads in western New York tonight. Our Danny Spiewak is in one of our news cruisers, and he's on his way to Elma. Let's get the very latest from Danny. Dan?
So we are in Elma right now, and the snow is starting to come down a little bit, but really the roads have been fairly clear. There haven't been too many issues down here in the South Towns. It was raining a little bit earlier this afternoon, but John Girdlestone, the photographer here with me, has been driving. I'm in the passenger seat right now. Nothing too major to report. Is pretty clear in the South Towns. A couple of minor accidents, but other than that, very smooth sailing here in Elma. Reporting live, Danny Spiewak, Channel 2 News.
All right, also today's school superintendents, they are certainly watching the forecast very closely as they try and decide if they actually need to use their first snow day tomorrow.
Channel 2's Ron Plant spoke with several today about what will go into making that decision, and he joins us live from downtown Buffalo. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Kelly and Scott. You know, as the flakes start to fly here in downtown Buffalo, I'm sure the school superintendents are watching us and also checking in with the local police and highway departments, trying to get the latest conditions as they try to make that decision, possibly for tomorrow, of whether to open or close. To snow day or not to snow day, let's face it, it's always kind of a tough call for these school district leaders, but they always say that school student safety is the priority. They also have to take into account other factors like what the weather system is going to be currently and what it might do in the future. Also, what kind of district they have, whether it's urban, suburban, or rural. And then they also have to consider what their staffers are going to have to deal with, the school bus drivers, the teachers, and other people that have to come in. They'll probably get an earlier than usual wake-up call tomorrow as they start gathering all that information before the buses start their runs at 6 a.m.
We need to have a decision made no later than 5:30 from our point of view, but I like to make it before 5 o'clock and get it on the 5 o'clock morning news on our 3 local channels. So it's the amount of snow, it's the velocity of the wind, it's temperature, how long is it going to be sustained, those kinds of things.
We actually have people that come in, the grounds gentlemen come in early in the morning, as early as 2 o'clock, latest 4 o'clock, to actually go out, drive some of those roads, and see what the conditions are actually like on them in our district.
District officials told us that last year they realized with all those blizzards and the intense cold that they did need to build some flexibility into their school calendars. Most have 5 or 6 potential school emergency days in terms of weather or other emergencies, but they also realize, for example, in the Iroquois School District, they have so-called retrieval days that they can actually have earmarked on the calendar to go into the school break, the spring break, or even the Memorial Day weekend if they need to chop out some of the days that they have in the calendar there. Also, we want to point out that you definitely can tune in to Daybreak tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. to start watching for the coverage and see whether or not there are going to be any school closing decisions. One other thing we want to point out for some of the districts, they actually had capital budget votes coming up tomorrow, and they tell us that if indeed the schools are closed tomorrow, those votes will take place on the next open school day. Reporting live here in downtown Buffalo, I'm Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.
All right, Ron, thank you very much.
And we start with this video from Hamburg that shows just how deep the snow is and how big a storm this lake effect event is.
And we also know tonight that 4 people have died as a direct result of this large storm. Now, the band is still over the South Towns right now, and our chief weather anchor, Kevin O'Connell, is here with more on where it is now exactly and where it is going. Kev.
Fine, thanks very much, Scott. You know, a little earlier tonight here on Channel 2, John Hitchcock, one of the members of the National Weather Service, and I were talking on the air, and I asked him, when are we going to get this band starting to move south? And he said, I got bad news for you. It's not going to move this evening until at least midnight and maybe a little bit thereafter. And he was exactly right. Looking right now at live precision Doppler radar, you can look at this anytime you want at WGRZ.com. But the leading edge of this system right now continues to be over the South Towns. And let me show you how wide it is. If you go to this section, let's say right around Dunkirk by the Thruway down to South Dayton, it's 16 miles wide there. Right here, as you go to West Seneca, all the way down to Springville, the band is about 27 miles wide there. And just above Town Line, going over to the community of Pike, we have 32 miles there. So as you can see, this band, again, has plenty of sources of energy and snow, and it's going to be staying there for several more hours. Look at the temperatures in the area right now. 18 degrees here in Buffalo. We have 20 in the Falls, 16 outside in Dunkirk. Along with the snow, we're dealing with the windy conditions. You saw that in our picture just a couple of moments ago as we had it for you in South Buffalo. 22 is the wind gust right now in Dunkirk. Look at the feel. Like 5 in Buffalo, -2 in Dunkirk, -6 in Jamestown, and -7 in Wellsville. Now here's the band as it sits right now, and this is future look. So at 11 o'clock, we still have the band over parts of East Aurora, Orchard Park, Hamburg, West Seneca, all the areas that got pounded today, South Buffalo. Overnight, that band should oscillate right there. So by 6:30 in the morning, we have it moving through the city, but watch this. It gets through very quickly. So yes, we will get some snow in the morning. It's going to be tricky, but as you can see, we're going to get another blast just in time for the drive home. So as the superintendents make all their calls as far as the schools, Mary Allison Scott, we're going to get that snow in the city just about time for the morning commute. Now I'll have more on that and the full 7-day forecast when I see you at 11:18.
All righty, thank you, Kevin. Really, the snow totals, too, are making this challenge even greater than the Thruway Authority or anybody could have anticipated. And as a result, there are a number of travel bans and advisories in effect. You can see a state of emergency in dozens of communities all across western New York. Now, these are areas where Travel bans are also in effect, telling people not to drive unless it is an emergency situation or you are some kind of essential worker, you're a hospital worker, you're someone who's been called in because the situation is dire. Otherwise, they're saying it is illegal to drive. No one else should be on the road for everyone's safety, including your own.
I think by now we all know how serious a storm this is. This is historic, unprecedented, and also deadly. We have had 4 deaths that are directly related to this incredible storm. County Executive Mark Poloncarz spoke about that earlier today.
Unfortunately, we can confirm at this point that there have been 4 deaths directly related to the storm, which is why we've been telling people, if you don't need to go out, don't go out. There's no sense shoveling your snow right now if you're in these areas, because truthfully you got nowhere to go. Even if you did shovel your driveway out, it's going to you're not going to be able to get on the road.
That was the county executive, of course. And then just a few moments ago, Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown and Fire Commissioner Garnell Whitfield also spoke, saying that it is very treacherous in South Buffalo, and they are telling people here to stay off the roads as well.
Putting people on stretchers and hiking back out to get them the medical attention that they need. So this is a very, very serious situation. This is a very serious storm. South Buffalo has been hit particularly hard. The other areas of the city are open and passable, but no unnecessary travel in South Buffalo.
Buffalo Fire Department is again trying to cover all of the emergency calls out south. We have deployed several special assets. We have 8 teams of snowmobiles out right now covering EMS calls. We have 4x4s out covering EMS calls, as the mayor alluded. Many of the men and women of the department are carrying patients from their homes out to the main thoroughfares to get them into ambulances.
You heard the county executive talking about it just moments ago, and now our Andrea Marvin has been looking into the circumstances surrounding the 4 fatalities from this huge lake effect storm.
And she's in downtown Buffalo with more. Andrea?
Yeah, Scott, Mary Alice, 3 of those deaths were caused by cardiac arrest. All 3 of those individuals were either shoveling or pushing snow. And the 4th death was actually a freak accident that happened in Cheektowaga. We're going to go ahead and take some video. Now, police tell us a high lift was assisting 2 people whose vehicle was stuck at Union and French Road. But when the vehicle gained traction and backed up, it pinned one of the men between the 2 vehicles. They did try CPR, but the 30-year-old from Pennsylvania did die. And we understand that high lift was in the area assisting with moving snow. When we arrived on scene, police had Union and Vine Road blocked. You can see that visibility there is incredibly low and the roads are a mess. And that's police's biggest challenge tonight, is actually getting out to these accidents, getting their emergency equipment where it needs to be. So they're definitely going to have a busy couple days ahead of them. Andrea Marvin, Channel 2 News.
All right, thanks, Andrea. And South Buffalo is an area that was certainly extremely hit hard today.
And our Kelly Dudzik has been there all night long. She's live right near the 190 on South Ogden Street. How is it looking there now, Kelly? All right. Unfortunately, we're having a technical difficulty, and Kelly Dudzik can't hear us, but she has been safely in a plaza that's right near the end of Ogden Street, and it looks like it's still snowing there pretty heavily tonight and very, very cold.
And round 1 is almost done. Round 1, but another round of snow is on its way.
2 on your side's Dave McKinley joins us now with some perspective on just how big a lake effect wallop this is. Dave?
Yeah, well, I think the best perspective was just tweeted out by the National Weather Service a short time ago. It noted that the national 24-hour record for snow was 76 inches, set in a place called Silver Lake, Colorado. But with some Buffalo suburbs having approached that mark today, they are now saying that this is possibly the highest 24-hour snowfall ever recorded in a populated area. It's not like we haven't seen snow before, but an increasing number of officials concur we have not ever seen it quite like this.
This is one of the most significant snow events anyone can remember.
The amount of snow and the short time in which it has fallen has been remarkable.
No one truly can remember snow falling at this type of rate in such a short period as we've been seeing in the last 24 hours, basically.
Many times we get a blast, often followed by a break, a few days to dig out. But for the snowbound areas in the lake effect band, that has not come yet, and now we're learning it might not come at all, because behind this blast, another is projected, perhaps another foot or two on Thursday into Friday, which together by some estimates could bring 90 inches of snow to the most affected areas. That is 7.5 feet of snow in just a few days. That is unheard of, even here, in a place which, remember, averages about 94 inches of snow in an entire year. Put another way,
there are some parts of our community that are going to receive the equivalent of a whole year's worth of snowfall in 3 days.
we talked a lot throughout this day and remarked often about the haves and have-nots in terms of this narrow band of lake effect snow and the stark differences between snowfalls just in Erie County alone. Just before airtime, 60 inches of snow had been recorded 1 mile southeast of Lancaster. Just 6 miles away from that spot at the Buffalo Airport, the National Weather Service reports it recorded less than 4 inches there, guys.
Wow, yeah, big disparity from one end of our community to the other. It has just been fantastic today to see the photographs and how different they are in just a 10 or 15-minute drive.
Speaking of photographs right now, let's take a look at the thruway right now. You can see, well, there's still an awful lot of vehicles on the thruway out there right now as they're trying to rescue some people that are stuck out there at the moment. We're going to take a quick break right now. We'll be right back, and Kevin O'Connell's forecast is coming up. Well, welcome back right now. We want to let you know that we're going to have the school closings. They're going to be crawling right at the bottom of the screen. The biggest one of those, obviously, is the Buffalo Public Schools system is closed for tomorrow.
Yeah, I have a feeling a few more are going to follow, too. But most superintendents wait until, you know, the early morning hours to make that call. So we'll see how fast and furious this next phase comes on us.
Which sometimes can upset a lot of mothers out there because they have to work, and fathers, they have to work and make a plan. But that's the way it is right now. But you know what? We're going to check in with Adam Benini right now because, after all, this is a very deadly storm, but we don't want to make light of that. But we also have the Buffalo Bills that are going on this weekend, which is a Sunday game. And Adam, what's the latest with that? I know they were thinking about possibly making some other plans, possibly, right?
I think those discussions, Scott, probably are ongoing as we speak based on what limited information I've been able to get through the course of the afternoon. But contingency plans, I think the NFL continues to monitor this situation. The NFL would be the entity that actually made the decision whether or not to change the time and or location of the football game. But as of right now, I am told the goal is to still try and get this game in Sunday, 1 o'clock, Bills-Jets, Ralph Wilson Stadium. These are pictures that the Bills had tweeted out earlier today of the Ralph. 220,000 tons of snow they estimate have to be moved in order for this game to be played. And again, as Kevin had mentioned, more expected to fall tonight. Now, they have reached out to volunteers to help with the shoveling. The county executive, Mark Polenkars, at his late news conference pointed out, and I think very aptly, that all driving bans still in effect ought to be followed by any and all volunteers interested in helping out. That is something that the Bills did point out and state in a release earlier today. But very much a situation in flux. My best guess, based on the situation and what I've been able to ascertain through the course of the afternoon, is that more snow is expected tonight. I think they'll evaluate based on the outlook coming out of this second bout with snowfall. Here's a statement I was able to get from the league office earlier today. We're working with the Bills to determine the status of the stadium. If a change to the schedule needs to be made, the league will make the decision, working closely with the club and with local authorities. So we'll see what develops. But as you said, Scotty, off the top, I think a lot of those considerations is very much in play. But as of right now, the goal is to get this game in. Bills-Jets, Sunday, 1 o'clock. At the Ralph. And the team, by the way, didn't practice today. The players were at home. Doug Marrone wanted them to abide by that travel ban.
All right, Adam Benini in our information center tonight with the latest on that. Adam?
I don't want to talk any trash about the Jets, but if there was one game that maybe we could afford to maybe lose one less day of prep for, it might be the Jets.
Well, they had 6 turnovers a few weeks ago, so maybe we can go for 7.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you have to look into the weather crystal ball, my guess is they play it Monday, and the reason being, we're going to have another day of snow tomorrow, so it's fruitless to try to clear the place.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they get 3 days, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they may have enough time to do that, but that's merely my speculation.
I'm told that some of those discussions, just from a source, that is going on.
A possibility?
Right now. Possibility, yeah. So we'll have to keep close.
I'm sure they won't have a hard time getting a lot of volunteers or, you know, paid, what, $10 an hour?
Yeah.
Folks to step up and clear the stadium.
Just be in good physical condition if you're going to do that.
Where are they going to take the stuff, though, Mayor?
Another question. They have to load up trucks. They have to line them up.
But once we're done with the Central Terminal, once we're done with the Seneca Mall, I think the only thing that's left might be
Lake
the
Erie.
river.
The lake.
The lake and the river, yeah.
We're going to be back on at 7 o'clock tonight also. So,
Okay.
We'll have the latest then, too.
Round number 3 tomorrow, and we'll have updates at the top of the hour.
All righty. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 7 o'clock.
For most of the hard-hit areas, the snow is over, and the cleanup process that will take days, if not weeks, is underway. This is a look at the Buffalo Central Terminal, which has become a dumping ground for all the snow that's fallen in South Buffalo.
Now, some of the main developments tonight include Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz saying that there have been 12 roof collapses in West Seneca alone, along with others around the area. Many roofs, they just can't hold up under all this weight of this snow. Warming shelters in Orchard Park are also full right now. Let's take a quick look at some of the travel bans that are still in effect right now. We have South Buffalo, Hamburg, the village of Blaisdell, town of Evans, village of Angola, Lancaster, Marilla, Elma, Orchard Park, West Seneca, Lackawanna, Colden, Sloan, and the town of Collins.
Also, travel bans are in effect for the village of East Aurora, the town of Aurora, Cheektowaga, south of Broadway, town of Alden, town of Boston, town of Wales, Dunkirk, Silver Creek, Brant, Eden, North Collins, the village of Depew, and the town of Concord. Now, Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown says from now until 7 a.m., a driving and walking travel ban is in place for all points south of Clinton Street in South Buffalo, so crews can continue removing cars and snow from the streets.
And now that the snow has finally stopped in most areas, the focus turns to flooding as temperatures continue to warm up over the next few days.
Storm Team 2's Kevin O'Connell is in the Weather Center with the latest on the forecast tonight.
Well, we've got the good news, Mary Alice and Scott, that the snow bans, that lake effect ban has now relaxed and moved out of Erie County down across the southern tier. We still have 2 major weather events still to go. The first one, overnight tonight for Chautauqua, Cattaraugus County. We focus still on the lake effect warning for those areas. Everything in Erie County and all the rest of the areas to the north have now expired, but till noon tomorrow, Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, we colored the county of Allegheny white because you're under a lake effect snow advisory till the same hour. But this is brand new tonight. I know it's well in advance of the actual situation, but because of the warming trend coming, because of the melt that's coming, because of the rain that's coming, we have a flood watch now in effect for Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming County. It's going to begin Sunday afternoon, and it's going to go right through Wednesday morning. We were watching all day. I put our lake effect snow ban railroad tracks, if you will, together, and we were watching the ban, which was at those 2 areas on or about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and you can see how it is totally relaxed, moving out of the area and down now across many parts of the southern tier. As we take a look, a lot of those areas that have just been pounded for the last couple of days are finally getting a little bit of relief. Some of the totals are pretty impressive indeed. East Aurora checking in the last 24 hours with a 27-inch snowfall. Orchard Park at 23 inches. Elma at 14. Alden, it's a little out of sync there at a foot. 27 inches in Colesville. And again, the 24-hour total for Lancaster, almost a foot. Very little at the airport. Angola, 33 inches fell in the last 24 hours. Wales Center and Hamburg, both at 37 inches. Had some very nice pictures. Thank you very much to John Carter. It's going to be a real cleanup there. Here's going to be another situation. Thank you, Katie Cook, sending this picture only because you can see Dad at their house is up on the roof cleaning off the snow. I certainly don't recommend that for anybody, but That's going to be the next major problem, is how this very heavy snow, along with the rain and the weight, will many homes and certainly any trailers be able to withstand all of that weight. That's certainly going to be something we have to watch very, very carefully over the next couple of days. And of course, the heavy equipment is out, and thank you to Kelly Sue for sending us the picture from her porch. It's going to be a while before her yard really starts looking normal. And again, we're going to be talking about for the next couple of days major cleanup. I'm happy to report I think the weather tonight is certainly going to help South Buffalo and the crews in that part of our community, but certainly it's going to take several days for us to even put a major dent in all the snow that has fallen. But the weekend will give us a warm up and some rain. I'll let you know how much is going to be coming our way, and we're going to take a look at that Thanksgiving forecast. After all, a lot of us have a lot to be thankful for a week from today. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Scott and Mare will take a look at that full 7-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Well, the death toll from this storm stands at 10 tonight. Now, no new deaths have been reported since this afternoon.
And that was part of an update leaders in Erie County gave us earlier tonight. Kelly Dudzik is live tonight at the County Command Center with more on this. Kelly?
Yeah, Scott and Mary Alice, we have an update that people in Depew will want to hear. Your driving ban will be lifted at 4 in the morning. And county crews are making a lot of progress clearing the roads, but they can only do that if people obey those driving bans. People also shouldn't be walking around. Even if it looks clear and you want to get out of the house to take a walk, it isn't safe. Plows won't be able to see you, especially if it's dark or snowing. A Brant police officer had to jump out of the way of a truck because someone defied the driving ban there. His cruiser was hit. So the county says stay home and stay safe.
We're, having very difficult time responding to the areas that are directly affected, and so we're asking the public again, stay in your house. Even, we're starting to get people that are, understandably starting to get a little the feeling of being cooped up, and they're starting to go for walks and things of that nature. So now you're putting people on the streets that we're still trying to put, loaders on, snow plows, dump trucks, and we're just trying to minimize the hazard to people so we don't have to have these responses.
And as Kevin mentioned, roof collapses are also now becoming a big issue. A horse was hurt when a barn collapsed, and the Flexovit facility in the town of Evans, that collapsed too. They don't think anyone was inside, but they're checking just to make sure. Live at the Erie County Command Center, Kelly Dudzik, Channel 2 News.
All right, thank you, Kelly. And the weight of all that snow that has fallen over the past few days, as Kelly mentioned, is creating a whole new set of problems across the hardest hit areas.
There have been several roof collapses today, including this one at Flexovit, like Kelly mentioned, on Eden Evans Center Road in Angola. Erie County Executive Mark Polencars tweeted this photo just a few hours ago. Despite the damage, the good news is no injuries have been reported. Well, people who have been trapped in their homes by the snow for many days now have a whole lot of stories to tell.
Our Danny Spiewak has been in the South Towns today talking with people who were directly affected by the snow.
Go forward. Even before the snow hit, the National Guard got to work right away in Cheektowaga. A little further down Harlem Road in West Seneca, plows cleared the way to get ready for round 2. And then near Elma, the snow hit again in the early afternoon.
Just trying to keep the end of the driveway clean. It's not easy.
3 inches an hour is not right. I'd say 6 inches an hour.
The last 3 days have been a grind, and it seems as though this snow will never stop piling.
This is the worst I've ever seen in my life.
I hope to never see another one.
By the time night fell in Orchard Park, there were no flakes in the sky, just abandoned trucks.
They tried pushing it through and then they just spun out.
And in the village of Hamburg, there was still work to be done.
For my mom to, try to get out so she could get picked up, it's really deep, man.
The Saccone family is digging its driveway out. Their mom needs to get to work at Mercy Hospital.
They haven't gotten me in so far, so this is the first time.
A Humvee is coming to pick her up, so the path needs to be cleared.
Dreadful. Yeah, a lot of shoveling.
A lot of cooking.
A lot of cooking. Can't keep up with it. It's just kept on falling. You shovel once, you got to come out 2 hours later and do the same thing all over.
Keep going.
It did keep on falling, and once again, that was 2 on your sides. Danny Spiewak. Now that the snow has ended, the focus is shifting to flooding that could come as temperatures rise and several feet of snow melt over the next few days.
Well, the big story in western New York, I'm going to be focusing on this area because now we have melting snow and we could be dealing with a severe flood issue.
Storm Team 2 has been with you every step of the way and will continue to be there as western New York digs out and unites in recovery.
I know everybody's hurting, but I have great friends and great neighbors, and everyone's going to get through this together.
Our live team coverage of this lake effect blast continues right now on Channel 2 News.
And we start tonight with news that a 13th person has died from this harsh lake effect storm. Erie County leaders say the latest victim is a 68-year-old man from Cheektowaga who died from heart problems while trying to clear snow today. And there are still travel bans in effect throughout the area. You can see our full list on WGRZ.com.
Now, this is some video that was taken just moments ago. This is from West Seneca, where the travel ban was lifted around 8 o'clock tonight. And as you can see, people are starting to get back out after days inside. But even as conditions improve, police are urging people to stay off the roadways in those hard-hit areas because snow needs to be cleared. Now, the thruway is back open tonight, but if you get on in the westbound direction, you will likely not be able to get off it until you get all the way down to Pennsylvania, as exits in Hamburg, Orchard Park, Silver Creek, they are shut down to prevent drivers from going into areas where authorities don't want people on the roadways.
While there's still a lot of snow to be moved tonight, the focus is on flooding.
And that is because all that snow that's on the ground now is going to start to melt very soon. Temperatures are going to rise over the next few days, and rain will be coming, and that will turn all the snow into a lot of water. Storm Team 2's Kevin O'Connell is in the Weather Center now with more on a flood watch. Right, Kev?
Yeah, absolutely, Scott and Mary Allison. I think the death that was reported tonight because of this incredible storm was because that individual, I think, was doing snow removal, doing some shoveling. And you know, you can't emphasize it enough. It's just not the time to do that because the snow is getting only heavier. A shovelful tonight is not going to, it's going to be lighter than it will be tomorrow as the consolidation occurs. Now, here's where that flood watch is in effect. There's 5 of the 8 counties involved: Erie, Genesee, Wyoming, Chautauqua, and Cattaraugus. Notice the timeline, upper left corner, Sunday afternoon till Wednesday morning. Tomorrow would be a great time, if you have time, to get out by the curb, maybe in front of your house, and at least clear away the storm drains. Here's what the timeline is going to be for the weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to see the rain arriving during Saturday evening. How much is coming? It's between a half and probably 3/4 of an inch of rain. The heaviest of the rain will be coming on Monday, along with high/warm winds on Sunday, and certainly those warm temperatures that will absolutely accelerate the melting of all of the snowbanks. Is everything going to be gone? You're going to see your front lawn on Tuesday? Absolutely not. But we're going to lose probably a half to maybe a third of the snowpack, and that could be enough to cause a lot of flooding. I'll have more on that. And, of course, the holiday forecast coming up, Scott and Mayor, when I see you in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Well, with the flood threat out there, local leaders are wasting no time preparing for the possibility of rising water and even more damage.
Flood equipment has already arrived here, and more is on the way. 2 on your side's Kelly Dudzik is live in Cheektowaga with more on how crews are preparing for this next phase of the storm. Kelly?
Hi, Mary Alice. These are just some of the big trucks that help clear the snow off the thruway. Right now, they're being checked out and fixed so that they can go back out again. But if you could see behind them, you would be able to see all the equipment that's already been dropped off to help us deal with those floods. It's being dropped off all night from all over the place. 180,000 sandbags are ready to go, and there are 55 boats and crews and 3 helicopters already committed to helping us deal with the rain and the melting snow. Remember, Kevin says that 7 feet of snow in this case will equal 6 to 7 inches of rain, and it has to go somewhere. And since this is far from your normal rain flooding situation, it's hard to tell where the problem areas will be. The Erie County executive says tomorrow will be a very good day for you to prepare at home.
There's a risk for basement flooding, and so if you have things in your basement that you consider precious and you would not want to be destroyed, we ask you to take them out of your basement now. It's very important, as was noted earlier by Mayor Brown. If there is water in your basement, if and when this flooding occurs, you should never walk into it because there may be a live electrical current through it. If you have a sump pump, I would suggest checking your sump pump now. making certain, because most sump pumps flow outside, of course. Not all, but some flow outside, that you actually check and make certain the connections are good, which might be difficult under snow, but we ask you to check it now because the last thing you want to find out is your sump pump doesn't work on Monday if you're getting flooding in your basement.
This is very much a round-the-clock operation here. We've met crews from all over the state as they get ready to go home or go to a hotel and get some sleep and then go back out again. Live in Cheektowaga, Kelly Dudzik, Channel 2 News.
All right, Kelly, thanks. Efforts are now underway to get storm aid from the feds. Senator Charles Schumer will be in Western New York tomorrow to tour areas that were hit hard by all this snow. He's going to also talk about federal disaster programs that can help people recover from the snowstorm. And will also be urging FEMA to coordinate with local leaders in preparation for a disaster declaration.
Even though crews are making progress plowing and moving snow, some areas are still snowed in tonight.
And one of those areas is in Hamburg. Columbia Street and its surrounding neighborhood is located right off of Camp Road, and neighbors there have not seen a plow at all. 2 on your side, Steve Brown is in Hamburg tonight, and he has more on their plight.
You've seen a lot of snow. Have you seen any plows?
Not down our street. We haven't seen anything come down our street whatsoever. Snowmobiles only.
Not one plow.
Not one plow.
And just a short distance down Columbia was a neighbor on a sled.
You don't have one of these, you don't have a four-wheel, you don't have trikes, you ain't going anywhere.
Jake Levinson is stuck tonight on Columbia. After the formula ran out for his baby and convenience stores within walking distance also ran out, Levinson had to drive to finally find some. But now his truck is marooned in the unplowed snow on his street.
I'm probably, I don't know, 200 yards from my house now and I'm stuck. But
how long have you been trying to get this thing free?
About an hour and a half now. But got the food back, I guess. That's the only plus you can say.
As we worked down Columbia, at intersections, it became apparent the neighborhood was unplowed. Now, at the very end of Columbia, it narrowed to an uneven path to 3853 Columbia. And Mary Ann Harris, who called Channel 2 and brought our attention to this story.
We can't get out. We have meds at the drugstores that are ready. We can't pick them up. We do have lives. We do have to work. What do you do? That's all I want to know. Give me one path, I'll be happy. I can walk a little.
There are other town of Hamburg neighborhoods with similar complaints that they have not seen a plow in their neighborhood this entire week. And Town Supervisor Stephen Walter says tonight that those complaints are probably true. Walters explained to me by phone that starting when the storm really rolled in on Tuesday, that vehicles being pulled off of the thruway, some of them were being dumped on major arteries in the town of Hamburg, essentially cutting them off from plows being able to reach them. Walters also says since Tuesday, he has asked the county and the state for additional resources, and until today, nothing rolled in. Today, 6 additional plows, or 6 additional front loaders, and 16 dump trucks. But he says with 20 pieces of equipment trying to get at all of the snow that fell in the town of Hamburg, it has been an extraordinary challenge without the needed help that he says the town has to have. This might not be information that will satisfy a lot of folks who haven't seen a plow all week, but Walter says there is a reason, and he says he hasn't gotten the help. Scott and Mary Ellis, back to you.
All right, Steve Brown tonight. Steve, thank you very much. And as we told you just a few moments ago, there have now been 13 deaths directly related to this storm.
And tonight we're hearing from the family of one of those victims. Robert Cedar and his father traveled all the way from Pennsylvania to help residents here clean up. Robert was plowing roads in the town of Cheektowaga on Wednesday when he was killed after being pinned between a high lift and a truck that he was trying to move. Making matters worse, his own father witnessed that tragic accident.
I mean, I was with him when he passed. I mean, I knew he was done. It was a terrible thing. I never seen anything like it in my life. But I don't know if I even should tell you this or what, but I just want everybody to know, which it probably doesn't matter, but what kind of guy he was. So, I don't know. We're having full military honors for him.
Robert was 30 years old and a veteran. He spent some time serving our country overseas.
Well, we've also been telling you about how the snow is causing problems with roofs in the South Towns.
Many contractors and homeowners have been busy getting snow off of roofs. The freeze-thaw cycle in the coming week with the rain could make the snow even heavier or even lead to the dreaded ice dams, which allows moisture to seep into the walls and cause leaks. In the Frontier School District, there's so much snow on the roofs of district buildings that the superintendent says no one is allowed to enter any school or administrative building until it's safe. Dr. Brett Apthorpe says school is closed indefinitely. The district architect and their structural engineers have advised that the roofs are all dangerous. They are holding more weight than designed. Updates will be provided on the district's webpage through robocalls and local media. Well, there are thousands of people from outside the area working to clear the snow and help the region recover.
National Guard troops arrived earlier this week, and they've been using some very heavy equipment to help move all this snow from neighborhoods and main roadways. And we're also getting help from the Big Apple as well. The New York City Fire Department tweeted today that they are sending 35 members of its incident management team to help the region recover. Well, coming up next, many of you had to abandon your own cars when the snow hit. We're going to share some new information about how to get them back.
Right now, we want to share another story of Western New Yorkers giving back and helping each other out.
I would like to thank our neighbor Russ next door. He came over today and shoveled the snow off of my roof. But not only that, he did 2 or 3 of the houses across the street who have elderly people in them and who could never have possibly done that before. And he did it out of the goodness of his heart. And we so much appreciate someone like him in our neighborhood. I'd like to thank you, Russ, and God bless you, and know that you're in all of our prayers.
With travel bans starting to be lifted, there are many people who now are in search of their vehicles. Several cars were left on roads during the storm and had to be towed. 2 News Side's
Andrea Marvin has more now on what people need to do if they want to find their vehicles.
We're at the Apple Tree Business Park, one of the 2 lots in Cheektowaga where people are picking up their vehicles after having to abandon them on the roads when this storm was at its worst. You can see that many are snow covered, but people we spoke to say they're just glad to see their vehicles here. Now that pavement can be seen again and the driving ban has been lifted in Cheektowaga, people are in search of their cars.
So now we're just trying to find it now. So it's only been a couple hours, but I'm trying to locate it.
In Cheektowaga, cars have been towed to either the Apple Tree Business Park or the Old Dick's Sporting Goods lot near Union and North Creek Road as people find their vehicles under the snow.
It was here and I couldn't be more thankful.
You'll hear wild stories.
The moment they hear pregnant and stranded, I guess that's kind of where the alert came into play.
Pregnant and stuck in this car for 11 hours. As for cars left in South Buffalo by people who live there.
We are asking them not to pick up their vehicles now because the driving ban is still in effect in the city of Buffalo.
Once that driving ban is lifted, people are asked to call 311 and have their name, phone number, and plate number ready. Some cars are being taken to the impound lot on Dart Street and another lot off McKinley. The county will post a list of abandoned cars at 9 a.m. Saturday on the county's website, erie.gov.
We can only identify the cars that we have authorized towing companies take to particular locations.
But those who have their wheels back are thankful.
I was buried pretty good, but I could see the license plate peeking through, so it's all good now.
Andrea Marvin, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Andrea. And you certainly don't have to look far at all to find a good neighbor here in Western New York. And this week's storm, a true testament to that. We caught up with several good neighbors today, including a man and a woman from North Buffalo who were in West Seneca helping a few friends clear snow from their home. And when they were done, they ended up helping a number of elderly residents who also live in that area.
We've already dug out a couple houses, just helping out, making sure everybody can get out of their house. There's one lady down there that gets Meals on Wheels. She hasn't gotten any food, so we just made sure somebody can get to her.
Lisa went on to say that she's a school teacher in the West Seneca district and had to keep herself busy. So what better way than volunteering her time? How about this? A group of volunteers is getting together tomorrow to help shovel out South Buffalo.
I love this story. They're calling themselves the Shovel Brigade Mob, and they've picked up traction on social media. Now, if you're interested in helping, you gotta love that logo. Be at the Old First Ward Community Center at 62 Republic Street in Buffalo at 9 a.m. Bring your own shovel, and you'll be deployed to an area that needs a help digging out. We have more information on WGRZ.com.
Make sure you have a good, hearty, protein-filled breakfast also.
That's right. Do some back exercises maybe to warm up. And yeah, be in good health, of course, to do that.
Rumor has it a couple of friars are going to be joining that party tomorrow night.
Yes, we did hear that tonight, didn't we?
The reason I have the journal up, I want to show you something. Do you know the last time Lake Erie at this late in the season was at 40 degrees? 1933. Now, I don't know I mean, today it could have been a phony number, so I'm going to watch carefully that number tomorrow. But if it's true, Lake Erie lost 6 degrees yesterday because of all this cold air. So I just wanted to point this out to you as we go forward. Thank you, everybody, for the great tweets and the Facebook stuff. Boy, we're doing a lot of communicating tonight. We're going to be here for you this weekend. You know that. 40 degrees and windy tomorrow. We'll see more rain late on Sunday, heaviest rain on Monday. It's also going to be the warmest day. 43 degrees, some showers Tuesday. We're back to the mid-30s by the time Wednesday rolls around. A quick peek on our Doppler screen. We still have that flood watch that's going into effect Sunday afternoon till Wednesday morning. Erie, Genesee, Wyoming, Chautauqua, Cattaraugus County. Those are the areas involved, but I think the streams and creeks right around the immediate Buffalo area most prone to picking up some water. I want to show you something lovely on Doppler radar tonight. Nothing, not a flake in sight. That's the good news. Now let's see how much has already fallen. Very impressive numbers indeed, from Colesville's 88 inches over a couple of day period. Then we get down to 61 by the time you get out there to Blaisdell. Alden at 58 inches, Colden 55, 63 in the community of Wyoming. And by the time we get out to the Buffalo airport, kind of meager by many standards, only 17 inches. Future look showing that the skies are clearing out. Clouds will be back and the rain showers are going to be arriving shortly after noon tomorrow. A little bit of pink down there. We could see some mixture because of some cool air in the southern tier. We'll have another blast of rain showers about 8:30 tomorrow night, and very close to the midnight hour. And of course, Kevin will be here in the morning. Kevin O'Neill, Jennifer tomorrow afternoon and evening. And again, they will continue to monitor the rain. I think a fairly quiet Sunday is coming our way. It's a good time to get out there and clear those drains in front of your house, because look at this. In the pre-dawn hours of Monday, that's when the rain is going to be the heaviest. It'll be here for the morning commute. And obviously we have to monitor the rain along with the warm air and the breeze, and it's going to cause that melt very quickly indeed. This is not a mistake. We'll be in the 40s in the afternoon, but temperatures will be rising tomorrow night. Southwest winds 10 to 20, maybe gusting up to 30 miles an hour. 50 degrees, that'll be our top temperature on Sunday, and that meltdown is going to continue. The snow is going to consolidate and become very, very heavy. 61 degrees on Monday. We're going to be looking at 43 on Tuesday, and then for the big travel day, a few flakes. I don't think it's going to be getting in the way of coming or going in the area. Thanksgiving Day will be in the mid-30s. Mid-30s again Friday. Need a forecast update anytime this weekend. Pick up the phone, give us a call at 852-2222, or join us online anytime, and download our free app while you're at it. WGRZ.com is our address. A lot of people have done a lot of good things for their fellow neighbors. Here's some folks that would like to say thank you.
Put a personal thank you out to Rick Arena from Value. Rick picked me up and took me up to the gas station, paid for my gas. I offered him money, he told me no. Value, you're awesome.